So they'll be beside the cows, and the baby cow likes that, Snow White. She always likes having little friends that she can talk to. And besides, what goes better with burger than bacon, right? Ouch. Hey guys, hope you're doing amazing. Thanks for coming over and joining us and checking us out here. We've got a lot going on. It's been crazy. So we're actually now on vacation for the next 10 days, which is just awesome. We booked it off because we were actually supposed to plant everything outdoors, because we're basically now at that time point where we have our last frost, and it's June 17th. So usually it's around this time that's last frost. Sometimes it goes a bit further, sometimes it's a bit earlier. However, we've already been getting tons of stuff planted outdoors just because the weather's been so nice. One of the projects we're working on is expanding our herb and medicinal garden. This is just one of them. We've got another one up front. We've got our food forests. We've got another flower garden, but this one is mainly herbs and medicinal plants. So we've got the ring around the tree here, like you can see. And then what we're now doing is we have an internal circle here with some flowers, and we're going to do 3 big rings all the way around it with a walking path through it and kind of a line down the middle. So it'll actually almost be like a formal English garden the way we're doing it. So everything seems to have recovered after the frost. Basically all our plants are doing amazing. Flowers are starting to bloom. We've got more flowers coming up that we actually seeded, so they're coming up as well. We've got some lupins over here coming up and blooming. We've got lupins over in the big circle there blooming. We've got a hound dog who wants to play. We've got our camaries here. It's under a net because basically the fruit's almost ready to pick, and we don't want the birds grabbing it before us. So the garden's starting to pop up. We recently planted a bunch of the seeds that were kind of not frost hardy. We got some salads in, we got some kohlrabi in. I guess it's lettuce, not salad. But we've already planted some of the other stuff, and we still have a couple beds to plant as well and weed out. We got beans in again. They were hurt from the frost, so we had to replant a bunch. Big long row of beans here as well. We got the turnip over on the far side there. We had to replant. No, actually we didn't replant any of the turnip. Got radishes, fennel. So I don't know if you remember, I mentioned that some of my seeds I got left outside for a couple days during the rain. So all I did was I took those and just did the best I could at seeding. So as you can see, we've got quite a few green onions coming up here. And the carrots are all over the place. So we actually reseeded some of those. We had a bunch of the beets die in the frost, so we reseeded those. Got the got the leeks coming up. Another rhubarb and asparagus. We're doing some cucumber here, squash, and a couple perennial, some salads that are perennial, which is really cool. But what I wanted to show you guys is kind of the difference that our greenhouse has made this year. So you can imagine planting or having your frost right now, June 17th, and just starting to plant outside because you're worried about frost. So as you can see here, we got some tomatoes planted here. So you can see those tomatoes are maybe finger height. So let's go over to the greenhouse and see where the tomatoes are at in there. What are you doing, Odin? What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you got? You got a bone? You got a bone? Crazy dog. So from there, we've got the tomatoes that were planted outdoors. And if I remember correctly, almost all the tomatoes were planted around the same time, except a couple of our first ones that were, I want to say, 2-3 weeks earlier. So these are the tomatoes that are inside the greenhouse on the far side. And yeah, they're doing a little better than the ones outside. Also, we have these ones that we potted, the very first ones. So these two here were the first ones we potted, and we put them in big pots. And we've got another one down here, which is similar height to the ones over there. So the greenhouse has really allowed us to do quite well with the tomatoes. We'll probably even start them earlier next year, knowing that we can use the greenhouse that much sooner. So back in our outdoor garden with the raised beds, and here is the lettuce we planted maybe a week ago. It's just starting to pop up. So inside the greenhouse here, you can see the lettuce is doing quite well. We've already been harvesting and eating that one. Beside it, we've got peppers, which we can't actually grow outside that well. Last year we started the peppers and they probably got to about that big. They really didn't do much at all. This year we've got some more peppers here that we potted up here and here that I'm hoping might actually produce peppers this year for us inside the greenhouse. Also, we've got fennel here that we started inside the greenhouse. The fennel outside in the raised beds are maybe about this high. Again, it's giving us probably a month at least right now of early planting, which is just amazing. And it'll probably give us at least a month in fall extra as well for harvesting and keeping plants alive. We haven't heated the greenhouse yet, so we're going to see about heating it for winter and extend the life of the greenhouse even longer. Knowing what we know now as well, we'll be able to start seeds inside sooner and get them out here sooner, and then we'll probably be well on our way in June next year to be able to already start harvesting a lot of stuff that's in here already. Down in the corner here you can see the watermelon that you might have seen before, and he's doing great. He's just making his way along the floor. We've got some thyme, chives, rhubarb, tons of other stuff that we started that are going to be moved outside as part of the new herb medicinal garden. So, wow, okay. So I really wanted to show you just the greenhouse and compare what we're doing outside to what we can now accomplish inside with the greenhouse. So that gives us an extra 2 months basically of growing time, and I figure probably if we utilize that better, we might be able to extend that to maybe 2 months on each end, which is going to be awesome. We'll be able to grow so much more food, and then we'll work on basically, if we can be self-sufficient for a lot of our own veggies, and food, and herbs, we're already basically self-sufficient for our meat. Then the goal will be to be self-sufficient for the animals' feed, and then self-sufficient for the animals in such a way that we won't have to buy pigs and meat chickens every year. We'll be able to maybe have some pigs year-round that we can breed, and excuse me, black fly in the throat. And then we'll use our chickens too, like our Chanticleer, which are dual purpose. We'll use them for our meat birds as well as our egg birds. So that, I guess, wraps up this video. So thanks again, guys, for checking us out. So glad you could join us. Get down there, hit that like and subscribe, because you know there's going to be more videos coming next week while we're on vacation. So many updates yet to come. Thanks, guys. Love ya.